You love them, but they're really holding you back. I don't care if it's you're in a relationship, a friend, whoever that is, you just have to let that go for the energy to clear so you can fully receive everything, right?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the E Formula podcast. I'm really excited because today I have an incredible guest in the house, the beautiful Valeria. Welcome to the house.
Thank you so much for having me, Muhammadi. I'm very glad to be here and I'm excited to provide value to our listeners.
I'm excited, I'm for sure. I know you work with a lot of clients, but before we get into that, I believe that, you was not born in the States. So, like myself, I believe that we have a journey before our journey. Can you just give people a little bit of preview of the journey before the journey? Give us how Valeria got to the state.
Oh yeah, thank you. Absolutely, I love to share my journey, the journey before the journey, right? Originally, I'm from Bulgaria, small country in Eastern Europe. I moved here when I was 19 on a student program. I worked at a pizza place. I worked as a tattoo artist.
Really?
Yeah, that was like a dream job for me actually.
Wow.
But don't think not like the real tattoo. I was doing henna tattoo.
Oh, henna
So
tattoo.
if you mess up, there is no problem.
Oh.
But I always feel like I've been artistic and creative. So that opportunity was a big deal for me, believe it or not.
Wow.
So
And that was in New York?
No, actually, that was where the student program was first. It was in Maryland.
Oh, in Maryland.
It was on like a boardwalk. So even for me, like working this creative job I was grateful for it because I didn't have to, it was not hard for me. I was just enjoying it because I could be creative and get very good tips.
Oh, nice. That's always something good to look forward to.
Yes. And then afterwards, I had an opportunity to move to New York.
Nice.
And I started working as an assistant for a fashion designer. I always loved fashion. I was always fascinated by fashion. Ever since I was a kid, my mom had so many magazines and I was always going through them and I wanted to live the Carrie Bradshaw life, no matter what. So I was willing to do whatever it takes. And I started working as an assistant for this fashion designer I mentioned. And then I pivoted. I got my real estate license and I got into real estate because I wanted to start making real money. I'm a creator and I'm willing to do the work, but I am also motivated by making money, and I'm not afraid to say that. I like a certain lifestyle, so in order to have it, I have to make a lot of money. So in real estate, seems like I could achieve that. So I started working. I joined a brokerage. It was great, and I really enjoyed the marketing side of things, like the videography, the styling, the staging the apartments. My colleagues would hire me and pay me extra to do their marketing materials. So I felt like that's more of my calling, right? And then I fell in love with a man from Miami. That's the real story.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I decided to move here and for us to start a new life. So I had to start all over. And I was like, well, what would I do? I started working in a technology company. But again, I love to make more money. So I started my own company and it's a marketing agency, Splash Marketing.
Splash marketing people?
Yes, follow Splash Marketing _ in Instagram. And that's my story.
That's
right
the
now
journey.
I'm growing my company. I'm very happy. I feel like I was asking God, and my manifestation book was, please show me the way. What is for me? I'm gonna do the work. I'm gonna, do whatever it takes. I'm not like afraid to work. I just wanted to know what's my way, what's my direction, where I fit in, and how can I be useful. I remember I mentioned that. How can I be useful and just how can I leave my input, like
Impact, yeah.
impact,
Very
right?
powerful.
And right now, I feel like I finally found it. I started with social media management. I saw the demand for social media. Business owners can't find the time. So I saw the demand, and I'm feeling this gap for business owners right now. And I can just be creative as much as I want if they allow me. And I started adding more services like website management. We also build websites. We do also content production like videos and pictures, videography, photography, and we're expanding, and we're looking forward to expand even more.
Wow.
I have a team now, and they're amazing. I also found that I have a talent for finding talent.
Finding talent.
I see, and I love working with women. No offense. We just have a certain taste and certain outlook on things, right? We love making things pretty. So we get along very well, and just finding this talent and helping women also believe in themselves that they can do so much more. It's also another passion of mine.
Wow, that's incredible. You invited me recently to an event called, Friends of Medicine.
Yeah.
And it was a really powerful event. Got to connect with a lot of amazing people, especially people in the medical field, and just seeing how seeing you in action, seeing you how you navigate through the room, how you pretty much get the best out of people. You grab me for an interview and stuff. So I saw that in you. It just shows, and I was blessed to pretty much experience that for myself. But like, this YouTube channel and podcast is for people that want to start something, that want to do something different than what they're currently doing, or they, either they're at the job and they feel like the job is not their calling, like how you felt when you was in these previous jobs, right? And they want to make the leap and become a full-time entrepreneurs. And you have already made the transition. What would you say is like the most important things that allow you to make the transition?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a willpower. It's your mindset. I feel like what helped me was what I was feeding my mind, the people that I surround myself with, the videos that I'm watching, the books that I'm reading. And I feel like what's stopping people is they dwell on it. Like, maybe there's fear involved. Maybe there's a what if it doesn't work. I just simply don't think like that. I don't think like, what if it doesn't work? I get excited of what's gonna be like when it works out. I already live the moment before it happens. Like right now, I just get chills because I can see my dream while I'm sitting here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful. So having a clear definition of what is it going to look like when it actually happens, and just committing to that end result.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is the frame, this is the end that I have in mind.
Yeah.
I'm committed to that.
And I want to share this with you, who really helped me rewire my brain, because that's what he literally does. Helps people with. He's a neuroscientist. Everybody probably heard of him, Joe Dispenza. Yeah.
Powerful.
Shout out, because you literally changed my life with your YouTube videos. I also had my own fear. I have my fears, but what I've learned from Joe Dispenza is very simple. Like, you gotta check yourself. I check myself now daily. Like, we all have million thoughts during the day, right? And it's super easy as humans, human nature. We are falling more into the negative, the fearful side of things. That is just the norm. But it takes knowledge, right, to know like that's the norm. So you check yourself. No. You're not about to think that. Everything will work out great. Everything will work out exactly how you want it. And that little check yourself would even change your whole mood at the moment, right in the second. It will change your whole mood, and you might forget about your problem.
Wow.
So I've been practicing that thanks to
powerful.
Joe Dispenza.
That's powerful. So another thing to have in your tool belt when you're thinking about exploring the realm of entrepreneurship. So I was talking to Louis recently, one of my previous guests, and I was telling him, and we was talking about how the going is going to be tough. If you want to start your own business, you want to live the lifestyle of like maybe the top 1%. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be a lot tougher for you to live the life that you're currently living if you're not happy with it. Because being in a position where you're not happy with what's happening and consistently trying to find a way to change the situation will make you feel better. You feel a lot better doing that than being in a position where you feel like you don't like being here and you're not doing anything about it. You feel like helpless. That's a lot worse of a feeling that you're gonna just have to accumulate and endure with, and that's what makes it very mostly painful.
It's one little action.
Yeah.
It's really one little action. You might think of, well, I want to start this business. And I talk with people on a daily because a lot of existing business owners or people who want to start a business reach out to me, for social media help, for my advice. And what I'm noticing is the difference between successful business owners and people who want to start a business is action. That's the difference.
Action.
Because you can sit here and, well, I want to start this, my fashion line, and, I don't know when. Like, when are you starting that? Is this on your calendar? What is the first action step? What is the plan there? There has to be a plan in place, because just ideas and words, you can't drag this, right?
Yeah.
What is the action? Is it just as little as, well, okay, I'm going to post today to promote my business. Hey, check out my website. Maybe that's a small action you can take today.
Yeah, that will get you closer.
Tomorrow you can start with a new action. Hey, what are 5 people I can call today that can help me grow my business? Something little like hey, tomorrow I'm going to text 5 new people I haven't texted. And that's a small action you can take to move forward in your career, business, right?
100% actions. So action is a difference maker. So you're gonna have to commit to it a lifetime of actions if you want to become an entrepreneur, and that's obvious because it's needed. Nothing is just gonna happen on wishes. Wishes without action is just like, just dreams without actions. It's just dreams. It's not gonna translate to reality.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, like pretty much reading the right stuff, listening to a lot of your dispenser was able to put you in the right mindset and the right spirit to always switch for a better position, like to get more authority, take more responsibility of your life.
Yeah.
Because when you leave when you leave a job as an assistant, to a fashion designer, a lot of time your aspiration is like you want to be at her level. Of her level, but you're like, no, I want to go out and build my own empire, and I'm gonna get into real estate. And then you're like, no, I'm gonna go out and build my own empire, and then you get into marketing. And now you have a full-blown agency. So it's exciting and inspiring, and I know a lot of people can relate to this. So right now, you said you just realized that you have a power of finding talent and recruiting talent.
Yes.
What would you say was, when did you realize that, and what made you realize that you was really good at it?
Yeah, first it was just a sixth sense. When I first needed help in my business, I was growing and I got pregnant, and I knew I needed to hire help and teach them my way so they can take off the load, right? But it just had to be someone who gets it. Something that I don't care what degree you have. I don't care about I care about the background, yes, but it's just you're either born with it or you're not. It's just something as simple as common sense that I can ask you a couple of questions and find out, right? Another thing, when I was hiring my first employee, and she told me that she was a makeup artist, I thought that was such a green flag, because if you're a makeup artist, that means you're talented. You know how to paint. Then that means that you are artistic, and that means you'll be good with graphic design, and you probably have common sense, because artistic people are just like that. So that was a good sign for me. And you just have to have, before hiring someone, that would be my tip, like have your clear expectations written down and presented to them. Availability, strong sides, skills, just ask anything possibly. Also ask them, like, are they working other jobs? Like, if their attention will be there, right?
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't hire. Fortunately, there was a girl that she had everything, but she was expecting a kid too, and I knew that's when I needed help the most. So I had to say no, because I know as a mom, you want all your attention to your baby.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't, that's kind of bad, but I would hire somebody that would like to put their attention to the business, to our clients, and I like to inspire my employees that they are powerful beings, and here in this company they can see a lot of growth opportunities. I asked my team members what are their personal goals, what are their financial goals, and I'm committed and dedicated to help them achieve them. And we have this goal every 1st of January, like end of December, beginning of January. We have this goal like, hey, what are the goals of the company for the year? What are your personal goals? How we can all help each other achieve those.
Wow.
And I'm so glad to say that the main person, like my creative director for Splash Marketing, she just reached her goal. And
wow.
I'm like so happy.
In November.
Yes, nice. We made it.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yes, and that just makes me happy. That makes me happy that I can also, help these women change their life and find their careers in Splash Marketing and see themselves growing and they can thrive and be entrepreneurs rather than entrepreneur. Like if you want to be entrepreneur, if you want somebody to give you the blueprint and you just show up and perform, and I give you the space to be your creative self and that freedom.
That's powerful. That's amazing. One of the things that you mentioned is you're actually treating. There's people when they think of hiring somebody, they just think of like the aspect of like the person being able to follow them without asking questions. But like from what you said, I've noticed that you literally have open conversation. You're putting the employees dreams and goals and ambitions almost at the same levels as the goal and the vision of the company.
Your business is the people that work in it for it.
100%.
Right. I will be more concerned if my best employees feel a certain way and I want to hear them out, then I'll be for my clients. Sometimes clients, they come and go, but I'm very like people that work for Splash Marketing are my priority.
100%.
They're powerful. The ones that run
the business.
Yes. Without them, without their talent, they're a huge part of it. I know I'm like the visionary and the director and the one who gives the schedule and the direction, but they are also just as important as I am.
Powerful, and that's something that I've noticed. Me personally, business, I have a saying that my job is to work for my employees, and my employee's job is to work for the client. If an employee is at the C level, that employee's job is to work for the client for the employees, and that is below him, and so on and so forth. I'm like, here, I'm picking up the phone to make your job easy. I'm gonna do anything I can to make you as productive as possible, because that's my job. So you can go ahead and be more productive for the rest of the people and eventually to the clients.
Yeah.
So that's a powerful notion. And these type of things is that you did not go to school for this.
Yeah.
You just learn it.
Yeah.
And and practicing.
Yeah. Real life practice.
Real life practice. And that brings me to something else, right? There's a lot of people that are thinking about, they want to become entrepreneurs. They want to, they have a vision of the life that they're expecting. But because of the fact that they're thinking of the work that they would have to do, the things they would have to know to realize the dream, they sit a lot of time trying to plan for it, or they sit a lot of time trying to figure out the way before they start the journey.
Yeah, procrastination is what's gonna kill you. Remember we spoke earlier, perfection.
Yeah, about perfection.
Slow your process down. You might look at it as something you've done, a project, and just working days and days to perfect it, rather put it out there and start working on the next project, right? I feel like there is a thin line. There's a fine line between things looking good, being good to go. But when your perfection is like looking at the little tiny thing that probably it's probably only in your head, that will slow your process, your success. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think, taking it back to somebody that is trying to figure out everything before they start the entrepreneurial journey, and relating to like thinking about what you just mentioned about your journey is that you don't have to have all the answers from the get-go.
Yeah.
Just go out there and just commit to the vision that you
Yeah.
have in mind. Commit to the vision. The way to get there is not an issue.
It's okay
Just
to
know where
suck
to go.
at first.
100%. And
I'm not afraid of that.
one of my favorite writer, Jordan Peterson, mentioned that what are the chances of you getting something right at the first time? It's 0. But the more you do it, the more you better your chances. You increase your chances of getting it right. So you're not going to have everything up front. But a starting point is finding somebody that is knowledgeable about the industry that you are in and seek counsel. A lot of the people that I'm bringing on this podcast is people that are in specific industries, in specific businesses, and they have built programs. So throughout the channel, you get to see a lot of like a lot of entrepreneurs. You get to see like people like Valeria, how they build a company, and get to like follow them, and you'll be able to resonate with someone that you can follow really, really deep and find out a lot of ideas about what they're doing. So this is powerful, Valeria. Thinking about, like, okay, now you see like, okay, you have your passion, you have everything. This is it. This is what you have been longing for so long.
Yeah.
What is like the next stages that you can visualize right now?
The next stages for my business?
Yeah.
The next stages for my business is to have a building where my team would work. I envision what the building would look like, what our office spaces would look like. I envision the minimal vibe. If you know me, you know.
Yeah.
I love a minimal vibe and neutral tones. My vision is so down to like what the offices would look like.
Wow.
That's how crazy
That's
it
powerful.
is. And that excites me. And I work towards that every day. So I imagine our team comes and they're also fashionable and they wear whatever they want. Fashion has no limits in splash marketing. You can wear whatever you want. Because my old jobs, I would go and they're like, what do you think that is? A fashion show? Wow. So in splash marketing, it can be a fashion show if you want to work for us.
Nice.
No problem.
Are you recruiting, by the way? Because you might have somebody send a resume right now after watching this.
Yes, and ultimately, other than the visual side of things, ultimately for us to serve more clients, more than 500 clients in Miami, East Coast area, ideally, right? We work with a lot of real estate agents, so I would love to serve the biggest firms like Douglas Elliman, Keller Williams, Sotheby's, and work with their agents. That would be our goal. We feel very confident with working with this kind of industries, as well as supplement brands, beauty kind of, yeah. So we are my goal would be to be one-stop shop for all your branding needs, from where you're gonna do your videography, photography, you're gonna have somebody edit that piece and manage it throughout all your social media channels. That will be my goal, like one-stop shop for everything. You'll be able to come to our creative studio and get your photo shoot done, your TikTok reels. Our team will take the material from there, edit and distribute, so you don't have to worry about anything.
Powerful.
And you won't be worried about the quality, because the quality will be top notch. And yeah,
this is epic. Actually, like, it's kind of funny you're mentioning this right now with your engagement with your client. I've been following you for quite some time now, and I saw the type of energy you have with your clients. I saw you dancing with your clients, and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. On top of getting paid, you get to dance as well with your client.
Yeah. Would you believe it if I tell you, like, my first networking event, I was so terrified and I was super introverted and I didn't talk to many people and I was sweating if somebody asked me a question. I was super shy, but I got a feedback from a very honest friend that I should improve in that area and how important that area is, the ability to connect with people. Most of my clients come from referrals. Your happiest clients, the people that interacted with me, those are the best salespeople, because they would promote you, your business, because they like you as who you are. They love your work also. And I had to teach myself actually to how to be in networking events, and I got some tips from friends that are good in that. And what you saw, that's kind of like the result of my work again, because that was not me. My first networking event, I was so uncomfortable and I couldn't wait to go home and just be by myself. And I get exhausted. Yeah, I was exhausted from even talking and interacting, because energies, I'm very hypersensitive, and even interacting in energies, I do get exhausted. But do I know how important that is for my brand, for my business, to put myself out there? And again, there's an advice I got from a billionaire, very powerful guy. He told me, you don't do your best. That's for the weak. You do whatever it takes.
Woo!
He said that.
It's like
and I was like, I've been living by this. It's like, yes, I could just go home right now and just whatever. My revenue, it's not going to change. It's just going to be, but I can push myself and maybe meet a huge opportunity, and I'm just going to do it.
Wow.
And I'm going to sweat, get red, and be shy, but I'm going to do it.
Wow. It's like you don't do your best. That's for the weak.
Yeah.
You do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
That's powerful. That's incredible.
That was the greatest advice I ever had.
So for somebody that is out there thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, like what type of, insights you can give them so they can get started as soon as possible on the journey?
Okay, a couple of things. What helped me? Personal development, working on your mindset, forgetting about those fears. And I'll recommend guys like Joe Dispenza, then some entrepreneurial guys like Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, whoever feels like inspire you. Feed your brain that. Put 30 minutes a day, maybe when you're walking in the park. That's what I do. When I walk my kid in the park, I have podcasts or I watch YouTube videos to feed my brain. People that you surround yourself with. Sometimes you have those friends that you've been growing up with, but they didn't really change much, and they just like being not so proactive like you would like them to be, right? That will only hold you down, and that's the sad truth. Sometimes you have those feelings and you love them, but they're really holding you back. I don't care if it's you're in a relationship, a friend, whoever that is, you just have to let that go for the energy to clear so you can fully receive everything, right? It is just very hard. And even when I was coming up, I wouldn't probably able to come up like that if I didn't have the right support.
100%.
Yeah. I remember when I told you I moved to Miami to be with that surrounding really helped me. Just seeing him being like a high performer on the phone, on the meetings, the lifestyle really inspired me. And I didn't necessarily have that with other friends around me, right? And I saw how this affected my productivity, how this affected my sales phone calls. Like thanks to being around that, I was able to hop and on a call and close clients like it's nothing.
Wow.
So really it's personal development, your surroundings, the people you surround yourself with, dedication, and very simple thing. Show up every day. Do one little thing every day for your business, whatever that is. Is it one post that's going to take you 5 to 10 minutes? Then that means you showed up today. No matter how small it is, you can start small. I feel like many people overthink because they're saying, well, I want to be already that. They're looking at what's the pictures in 5 years.
Yeah.
But can you focus on this week, right?
Today.
Break it down to this week. Today, I showed up by being here.
Yep, 100%.
I showed up. I told you about myself. I told you about my business. And I'm going to go back and be with my kid and be a present mother afterwards. So I did show up today, and I'm proud of myself.
Amazing. Another thing, right? Like this message is going to be received by, hundreds of people, thousands of people out there, and they're thinking, okay, now I'm in a position where I'm ready. I want to get going, right? I want to get going. And somebody that I've been with for a really long period of time is not giving me the right type of energy that I need in my life. I know, listening to Valeria, I should just discard that and let that go so I can create the peace and the clarity for me to get going, to go after my dreams. Have you had to do something like that in your life?
Yes, and it was very hard.
Wow.
It was very hard, but I kept getting signs. And usually when you ask for sign, that's a sign. But I just had to do it, and I was right. It worked out for better.
Worked
I
out.
received more blessings, way bigger than I thought.
Wow.
And when you look back of, okay, so let's see, how are they doing? Did they receive different blessing? And it's gotten worse. And that's the proof, Your gut feeling would tell you. If you already thought about it, that it's not right for you, it's not right for you. You already felt it in your gut. That's the universe's way of speaking to you to tell you what you need to do. And deep down, we all know. But it's hard to accept, and it's hard to do. It's hard to cut off somebody you care so much for, and you had the best memory and probably so much like amazing emotions. It's probably the hardest things, honestly. But it's worth it because it's this quote, right?
Yeah, you gotta sing a swing, right? People, I know they cannot say it because it's so high. Yeah, but yeah, that's powerful. Like, sometimes you feel like you cannot find something better, and you're just holding, that okay, it's not good for me, but I'm just holding it because I feel like I cannot find better. Did you have that type of experience when you was trying to go through it? You was feeling like, oh, do I have other option? Am I gonna find something better?
Yeah, you think about that initially. And of course, that's where the personal development came. And I listened to certain experts, right? Feeling that like that is normal, feeling like you might have to even settle for less but literally there's some magic, energetical, quantum field magic happens when you let go. It's unexplainable, but it is true.
It's
Like there is, like when I say people can hold you down, they might necessarily not be verbally bad, or just by them being them and not have that same ethics in their life, career, just being around that can hold you down. And it's super cliche, but you are definitely, if you're surrounded by 5 successful people, you'll be the 6th. And if you're surrounded by 5 lazy mother flowers,
you're gonna be the
what do
6th
you
one
think?
too.
You're gonna be like the one like successful around them. I want to surround myself with successful people. I'm very more, before I'm like, oh, she's nice, we can be friends, I love her, whatever, she's so cool. But right now I'm more selective, and it might sound like, oh, I'm so maybe stuck up for that, but no, I prefer it this way. I have high standards. I've learned to have high standards. I made it to have high standards, so I avoid low quality experiences with men, girlfriends, business partners, clients, yeah.
Wow, that's powerful, guys. There you have it. This has been an incredible session. We've been going for really like a lot of we was able to pack up a lot of things in such a short period of time. Before you leave, Valeria, I have something that I do every single person that comes to to the podcast. Me personally, I have a very big place in my heart for books. I love books. Books changed my life, and I know every successful entrepreneur have been changed by a book or two. Mm-hmm. So, what are 3 books that you have read that you think have changed a lot for you?
Okay, actually, one of the books that I've read is right there. The 4 Agreements. I love the 4 Agreements. It's more like the mind, the spiritual side of things. I feel like it all starts from your mind and how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the world. And this book really helped me understand more how this energies work. Another book that I love a lot that helps me and I always refer back to, even till this day, is the E-Myth.
The E-Myth by Michael Gerber.
Yes, very simple, straight to the point. If you want to start a business, it's very short. Like, it's just so good because it's easy to understand. I don't like books when they have this super complicated terminology. I prefer something just more short, straight to the point. Just let me know what it is, right?
Yeah.
So those two
Give me
I
the
can think
juice.
of.
So those two books, I read both of them, and it's incredible. Michael, it's just so much. You know, when you're starting your journey and you're like, it's tough, and you're like, okay, is this for me? You know, and you get like the booklet, the image, what it would do for you. It's kind of gonna outline things for you in a way that, okay, if you're this person, this is where you should go.
Yeah.
And if you're this person, this is where you
Yeah.
should go.
Oh, another entrepreneurial book I love and I have to share with you. It's Your Next 5 Moves
By Patrick with David.
Yes.
Oh, epic.
I love him. I mean, when I say I just, where, you know, he's also an immigrant and he made it from nothing. And it's a huge entrepreneur.
I was blessed to have a couple of conversations with
Really?
him. Yeah.
Yes, I love his books. It's just super good.
Yeah.
I learned so much about building a team and being a good leader from him, actually. A lot of the things I implement in my business.
I think I shared that as well. I learned a lot from Pat, and he have one of his close guys in the company called, you know, Joe, and amazing people. Was able to connect with them, and it's just the energy, the vibe. He have built an incredible culture that anybody that tap into just automatically improves.
Do you see how it's different, the energy when you, like what energy you get when you surround yourself with such successful
100%.
individuals?
It's
grow. Different.
You just cannot afford to be out of the water. And you know what I mean by that. You cannot afford to be out of the water. You have to always swim, because, you know, you want to put yourself in a position where you have to perform. If you are in a position where you don't have the opportunity to perform, you're just wasting time, you know. So, Valerie, thank you for coming. One of the things that I like to do is I give every single one of my guests access to my library. Go ahead and pick a book of choice. I have some here. I have more on this side.
Okay.
And I have few also on this side.
I've been looking for like a psychology book. I feel like marketing has so much to do with psychology rather technology. It is both, but it's so much more to psychology. So I'm looking for something more like that. Do you have something like that?
I would say, you know, like
Psychopictography. What is
psychopictography? That's that's an incredible book about, wow, this book has so much. It's like a lot of things about, you just said something and it just spoke to you, right?
It spoke to me.
A lot of the ideas of the book is just a way to pretty much break your mind in a way that you can relate to it more. You can relate to yourself more. You can understand why you're acting in a certain way, and you can, you know, revise your engagement and the interaction you have with other people in the past. And
like a self-awareness more?
Self-awareness and
That's
stuff.
That's huge. That also kind
Ed
of...
Mully, the one more.
The power of one more. It's an interesting, catchy.
And he have an incredible story about his dad.
Guy.
Yeah, Ed Mully.
I watch your podcast.
You watch his podcast?
Yeah.
He have an incredible story about his dad and about his dad quitting like an addiction. It's like, hey, no, I'm not gonna do it tomorrow. I'm not gonna do it today. I'm just gonna one more day.
Okay.
And there's a lot of lessons that can derive from it. So
I thought it's more like before you give up, try one more time.
If
you try.
It's the same analogy. Analogy. You know, like imagine somebody that is giving
media marketing. Oh my god, I'm Libra. It's very hard. Like I like options, and then I can pick.
A paradox of choice.
Yeah, I always like all the options.
We're
like, what should I decide?
When you was actually mentioning it, I was thinking maybe you would go with something like Everything is Fucked by Mark Manson, because that book literally give you a perspective of a perspective. It gives you the ability to change your perspectives. You know, for people define success differently, right? And people define failure differently. Somebody that was part of a 4-group artist that was touring the world, selling millions and millions of records, like my C6 failure as different as him being an artist, a single artist that is performing really well in big stages, selling millions of records, but still not as much as his group is selling, still consider himself as a failure. Right? And what this book is going to do is going to give you a lot of insights about real life situation, like people that have suffered from, you know, the household like concentration camp experiences, that had to go through it, but still live their life in a way that, you know, they make a difference and make an impact. And today we just feel like everything is done because we lost a client or because we lost an opportunity, you know.
Yeah.
So changing your perspective, because I
Yeah.
think that's a very good aspect. When
Yeah.
you mentioned psychology, I was like, oh, that would be a good
I like,
option.
okay, show me which one, since you
This
heard
one.
me.
This one, Everything is Fucked by Mark Manson.
Okay, I'll try that one.
Yeah. It's a lot of options.
It's a lot of
Always
options.
a lot of options.
But you heard me and you kind of saw
Yeah.
what I was going for, so I will
Yeah.
take you on that.
Beautiful, beautiful. Valerie, thank you for coming. And, you know, we're going to revisit this in 6 months and see how much have changed.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So I'm really excited. I'm glad we got to share this with everybody. And thank you guys for watching. If you have questions for Valeria, put it in the comments. She'll be in the comment looking for, you know, replying to your questions. And if you need a job, I think she's hiring.
Depends.
It depends. Okay, thank you for listening. If you're watching the video, you can head out to any podcast platform to see to listen to the podcast version. If you're on the move, if you're on the podcast, you can see the full interview on YouTube, so you can get to see us sitting in the studio talking in person, and, you know, share the video with anybody you think can benefit from this, as well as comment, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast, so you can be notified every time we have a new episode. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Woo! That was incredible.